what would you tell guys? Because everyone's like, okay, what should guys be like? What should your values be in finding a woman? Like you found someone who's awesome, and you
Yeah.
still kind of had this like, ooh, do I see if I can go further? Do I not? Like what are your things? Like what is your opinion on like how attractive should they be and like what values need to match and when do you know to like this is the one to settle down on? Because everyone's like, oh, you should feel a spark, but that's kind of like you don't always feel a spark, you know? It's not that's like not something that I think is a good determination of like what a good relationship is. So what in a small summary, like what would you say now that you've had that experience that guys should be looking for?
Yeah. So every guy's different. Every guy looks different, different stages of their life. And the first thing you have to be, I mean, if this is going to be this is going to be the woman that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, there has to be somewhat of like attraction, right? William
Hmm.
Shakespeare says a really good quote. He says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Hmm.
So as long as you think that she's pretty and like, she's beautiful to you, then that's all that really matters. A lot of times people, I think, get fixated on like trying to impress other people, which I
Hmm.
understand because you want like that respect as a man. But if you think that she's pretty, that's all that matters, man. And because some guys are going to be like not very good looking dudes or don't have like good game. They don't really take care of themselves. They're just average guys, but they can find a nice girl and that's like
Hmm.
cute. She doesn't have to be super hot or anything like that, or someone from like porn or something like that that they fantasize on, right? And
Right.
that could be their wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone that they're attracted to. That's pretty, you know?
Yeah.
Someone that you're at least, she's pretty to your eyes, right? So
Yeah.
that's everyone is different. That's why like that verse or that quote is really good. But that's just one of the many things because there's a lot of
Right.
pretty girls, right?
Yeah.
After that, the big thing is the chemistry that you have with her. She should eventually be your best friend later down the road, or at least, top three best friends that you have from your other friends that are men. And I think maybe that's a controversial thing that a lot of guys will say, like, oh, she shouldn't be your best friend or this or that. I do think that that's your life partner, that's your wife. So she should be someone that you have deep conversations with because that's this person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. What is it
Yeah.
just for her to be pretty and then you have no conversation with her? Like, well, then
Right.
what? What the heck, right?
Right.
So, so that should be like a must. And then another one is like the values of like, what do you value in your life? What are the things that
Hmm.
you value in your life? Like for me, I always value just like kind of more like old school tradition, like family. I wanted
Hmm.
to have a family. I wanted to have, kids. I wanted to have a good wife. I wanted to have a good wife that was in her feminine and I was in my masculine, someone that I can lead. And, she has, of course, opinions and, I'm willing to hear her out and stuff. But in the end, like, this is what I believe we should do. And she's willing to, kind of like, the whole biblical aspect of it. God, the husband, the wife, the kids, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like in
Yeah.
that way. And for the people who are like Christian, of course, you should have a woman who's Christian.
Hmm.
And to me, another big one was I didn't want her to like have a crazy amount of like guys that she was with or like had guy friends or things like that. Because I know how
Hmm.
guys operate, if we
Yeah.
see a pretty girl and we're trying to be friends, there's not really,
Yeah.
don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what you're trying to do. So that was a big thing too, and like also like not a girl that wants to go out and party all the time. I would date these
Hmm.
women that would just always want to go out and party and go to the clubs or go to raves or
Yeah.
or like all those type of things, right? So to me, those were the things that I was looking for. I think that's what guys should look for, and every guy's different, but those are like the things that I do believe that you'll find a good woman like that.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But,
I would probably agree with you.
yeah.
It's, I remember when I was younger, I was like, I really want to find a girl, like a girl that I'm super attracted to, which I still do, like there's got to be a certain level of attraction. But I've also had experiences where initially I wasn't too attracted to someone, but then like we hung out and the personality and their
Oh,
humor is just like could bump them up a huge amount when it comes to attractiveness. So along with
Yeah.
all those other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I like think of it like on the attraction side though too, right? Like my daughter, I'll give you an example. My daughter, she's 2 years old, right? And like I don't want to think about it, but eventually she's gonna get married one day, right? And the husband who she chooses, I want that husband to love her, to, think in his mind she's beautiful, right?
Right.
Not for him to be like, ah, she's right? If
Mhm.
that's not the guy for her,
Right. Right.
I don't want her just to like Andrew Tate, oh, just to provide for her and that's it. It's like, nah, dude. I want the guy to love her, to be there for her, to, see her as beautiful. And she's the only one, and he's going to be faithful and going to be a good protector. He's going to provide. He's going to be that guy, and he
Mhm.
believes in God, of course, right? So, like, if you pick a girl that you're not attracted to and deep down you're guilty on that, you're not just doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the girl a disservice.
100%. Yeah.
When another guy can really, what's that quote? It's like another man's trash is another man's gold or something like that.
One man's trash, another man's treasure, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like yeah, man, that's your treasure. That's the, kind of like in the Bible, it's like love your wives like Jesus loved the church.
Hmm.
Like you want to love her like that, but I mean, eventually you guys are going to get old and stuff, but at least for the majority of your life, there has to be a little of that attraction. Because guys come to me and they're like, dude, I'm not attracted to my wife. I feel guilty and this, and
Ugh,
yet they're something, So that's like,
you're
I'm like, dude,
stuck,
like,
dude.
what am I supposed to say to that?
Right.
Oh, leave her, bro. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
well, someone who likes to work out too, right? If you're a person that likes to take care of himself and like works out, you should also find someone that has those like things outside of, like hobbies, like what wants to work
Yeah.
out and stuff. Stay active because sometimes guys get in relationships with girls and then those girls let themselves completely go. And then they're like super mad. They're like, whoa, what the heck? It's like find
Yeah.
someone that also likes to take care of herself. Like for me, I do jujitsu, I work out. Delara doesn't do jujitsu, but she likes to work out. She likes to take care of herself, and
Hmm.
that's another thing that we have in commonality. We meal prep, we eat healthy, we'll have cheat meals and stuff, but it's not like, she's letting herself go, I'm letting myself go. And it's the same thing. That's another thing about Christianity, right? I want to get one more topic about Christianity,
Yeah.
about like weak, like why people think Christianity is weak.
Hmm.
Guys let themselves go once that they
Hmm.
get the girl. I do think that. I do think once you get the girl, they're like, well, I don't got to do anything anymore. I have her. I don't have to work out. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to continue to chase my purpose or add other, continue to evolve. And this becomes very unattractive, right? Because the moment that, the woman saw you as like that guy who's like ambitious, go-getter, continuing to improve, and then all of a sudden you get in a relationship, you start to lose that. And she's like, who is this guy that I married? A lot of them to maybe start to kind of lose respect or, lose attraction for the guy, right? So you want to continue to level up as a man, right?
Yeah.
But